Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. I'm It's Robbie Rhino, and in today's video I have 3 replays for you in the one and only Taran, which is the premium tier 10 Soviet tank destroyer that you can now get with free XP until the 16th of January. You need 450,000 free XP, which is around 18,000 gold if you're going to be converting all of that free XP, which a lot of people will be, as this is a very sought after tank. If you set this thing up correctly, it is very OP indeed. And I'll be talking about this tank and how to set it up, or how I set it up, and how to play it in just a little bit. But while you're watching this first replay here on Highway, I have to address the reason that this is my first video since 2023. So my last video was on the 23rd of December last year, a day after my birthday. At that point I had just recovered from a virus. I was feeling good, ready to put some videos out over the holiday season. And yeah, around a week later, I had a slip during a walk. I hurt my back, spent around 8 hours in accident and emergency, ended up with an MRI and found out that I've herniated some discs. I wasn't able to bend forward, I wasn't able to sit up straight, I wasn't able to play the game or record videos. I did put a message out on the community tab on my YouTube channel, and I believe quite a few of you have seen that, but I'm just letting everyone else know who didn't see that post what has been going on. And the reason why the first video over the holiday season is, after the holiday season has ended and it's actually in the new year. So this is my first video of 2024, and I'd like to say thank you very much for everyone, for the kind words that people have been sending me through direct message or through the community tab or on my videos. It's very, very kind of you, and yeah, I really appreciate every one of you. Welcome to all of the new subscribers as we march on towards 2,000 subscribers, which is absolutely insane. And I thought that I owed it to everyone just to explain where I've been. I'm definitely not going to stop doing the videos. I'm going to be going slowly for a while due to health reasons, but yeah, I'm still going to be putting the videos out, so don't worry about that. And yeah, thanks for your patience, and it's fantastic to see so many of you still sticking with me. We had a great 2023, and hopefully we can have a fantastic 2024. So now I have a new setup where I have a recliner. I can kind of lay back, play the game, record some videos. I'm feeling much better about things going forwards. So why have I decided to bring the Taran as my first video in 2024? Well, as I alluded to at the start of the video, you can now get it until the 16th of January for that 450,000 free XP, and a lot of people will be wanting this vehicle, as every single person who has played World War II over the last year will know just how good this thing is, how sneaky it is, and yeah, with its fantastic 950 alpha damage, it can cause absolute mayhem on the battlefield. But a lot of players will be picking up this vehicle and struggling because they are not setting up this vehicle correctly. They're not utilizing the great concealment. Maybe they don't know how good the concealment actually is with this vehicle, or they don't know how to maximize it. So that's why I'm putting this video out, to try and help people set their Taran up to the best of their ability to get the most out of this vehicle. So here on Highway in the first gameplay, you can see that we've already achieved 8.6k direct damage and nearly 1,000 assistance with 2 kills. Still 6 tanks remaining, so hopefully we can boost that up. What is the Taran? Well, I have already mentioned it's a premium tier 10 Soviet tank destroyer. It's a tank destroyer that is also in the Cold War game mode, but the World War II version is just far superior. It has far superior concealment, and it just plays a whole lot better in this game mode. You have pretty much everything you need in a tank, barring any armor whatsoever. Most of the armor is 30 or 15 millimeters on the hull and the turret, so you will get overmatched by low caliber guns, and you will get penetrated by HE, HESH, and artillery will absolutely love you. So it's paramount that you set up your vehicle correctly. So the Taran has a base value of 326 meters steel concealment, which is actually pretty damn good, and if you use the concealment with your equipment and commander setup, you can get it to a staggering level where you are pretty much stealthier than some of the light tanks at tiers 9 and 10, which is absolutely insane. You won't have the same moving concealment, I should say, but the still concealment is definitely comparable to a light tank. So in that first gameplay there, we picked up only a second class for all that damage, showing you how good people play this tank. 8.8k direct damage, 904 assistance with 3 kills. And now we're going to head on into the second gameplay, where we are here on, I believe this map's called Dukla Pass, if my memory serves me correctly, and we're heading towards the south of this map. So what else is good apart from the still concealment about the Taran? Well, you have a base view range of 390 meters, which is pretty nice, and you can get that to a good level. And the ratio between your still concealment and your view range allows you to outspot pretty much everything that you come across, especially people that haven't set their tanks up with view range perks. And yeah, you're a very sneaky tank indeed. However, once you are spotted, you do have to be wary that, of course, you don't have any armor, and yeah, you're going to be target number one, very much like a Waffenträger auf E100. As soon as that's spotted on the map, everyone tries to get it out of the battle. You have great mobility with this vehicle as well, 63 kilometers an hour forwards, 18 kilometers an hour backwards, with a power to weight of 17.73, so kind of medium level mobility on this dangerous tank destroyer. The gun you have is a 152.4mm caliber gun, and you have a whopping 950 alpha damage, which means when you high roll it's over 1000, and it's absolutely fantastic. Your base reload around 18.4 seconds, 2.7 second aim time, 0.37 accuracy with a DPM of 3097, and of course you can boost that up with your setup, and I'll show you how I set my Taran up in just a little bit. Another couple of downsides, I guess, to the Taran are the gun depression at only 5 degrees and 15 degrees of gun elevation. However, you have a nice 1850 hit points, which is more than enough for how sneaky this tank is to be able to last the duration of the battle. Just be careful against tanks that have Hesh or high caliber guns, things like the Centurion Avery, because they will absolutely wreck you. And yeah, when shells enter with Hesh, it's more likely to set you on fire, damage modules, and that kind of thing. So how do I set up my Taran when I am playing it? Well, in terms of the equipment, I try to boost up the concealment with the advanced concealment, my view range with the advanced optics, and I want to get the most out of the DPM with the advanced loader. And in terms of my commander skills, I'm running 6th Sense, Born Leader, Rapid Loading, Steady Aim, Rapid Aim, Snapshot, Camouflage Expertise, Silent Driving, and Situational Awareness. So 6th Sense and Born Leader are standard on every one of my vehicles. I think that they're imperative, especially in World War II, in my opinion. Rapid Loading, helping that DPM out. Then I'm running Steady Aim, Rapid Aim, and Snapshot as gun handling skills, because you don't have the absolute best accuracy or the best aim time, and you need it to be to a reasonable level. Otherwise, you're just not going to be hitting anything. You might be nearly invisible in some positions, but you've got to be able to actually hit your shots. And then I'm running Camouflage Expertise and Silent Driving as my 2 concealment perks, and you can make the concealment even better if you use Muffled Shot or Green Thumb. I would recommend, if you wanted to do that, I would probably take out the Rapid Aim for Muffled Shot or Green Thumb. Either one is your choice. And then Situational Awareness to boost the view range. So we're trying to get as much out of the gun and concealment as possible, whilst also boosting up the view range. And as you can see, I run large med, large repair kit, and combat rations to further improve the effectiveness of everything about this vehicle. So you want to play as a sneaky tank destroyer that is able to trade very, very well indeed. So if you're in a position to be sneaky in bushes and you can fire at mid to long range without getting spotted, try and double bush, so sit behind 2 layers of bush to be able to get the maximum concealment out of the Taran. And if you're kind of on close quarters maps or city maps, you can trade very effectively with tanks that have lower alpha than you. Trade 1 for 1. As long as you've got support and they don't come after you fired, you can still do very well in this vehicle. So if you run that setup that I have suggested, of course it's just a suggestion, you can tweak it how you like. The stats have improved dramatically, and I'll tell you what's improved about the vehicle. So nothing about the mobility has changed, apart from the turret traverse has improved slightly thanks to the gun handling skills. However, the still concealment rating has improved dramatically. It's dropped down to 237.67 meters, which is about 10 meters less than something like an EBR 105, so a very, very sneaky boy indeed. And the moving concealment then is still only 255.72 meters thanks to the silent driving being a very, very good perk on any kind of sneaky tank destroyer, as light tanks cannot use that perk. It does not work with light tanks. View range has increased to 499 meters, so yeah, just shy of 500 meters. And in terms of your gun, reloads dropped from that 18.4 second down to 13.42. Aim times dropped from 2.7 down to 2.49. And accuracy has dropped from 0.37 down to 0.3. DPM's gone from 3097 up to a whopping 4247. And when you're using that DPM from bushes, from sneaky positions on wide open maps, yeah, you can absolutely wreck tanks like this E100, a super heavy German tank, and we're just going to butter him like he's nothing with the great penetration that is on the Taran. So there we managed to pick up 9.7k damage there direct, just shy of 10k with 5 kills, 516 assistance. That's a mastery and a high caliber and sniper medal with 1802 base XP. And yeah, we're not done yet. There's one more replay here on Swamp as we're joining the game about a minute into the battle with a nice shot that high rolls for 1018 damage, so absolutely slapping that FE 4005 there and dealing some very, very good damage at the start of this battle. So yeah, it's OP if you set it up correctly. However, people that aren't going to be setting up this tank, maybe you haven't got very good commanders yet, or you don't have the kind of silver to put the equipment on, you are going to struggle in this vehicle to fully utilize it. However, you can still make the most of that alpha damage, trading with your opponents, and then work your way towards adding those concealment perks. And yeah, you should be golden in this vehicle. It's very, very good and very hard to 3-mark because it's got such high requirements because so many of the best players play it. So here on Swamp, we are just trying to overlook the centre here. Most of our team's gone to the south western corner, and we're facing that way, reversing into position, so we're able to escape as quickly as possible, utilising the good forward speed and the good power to weight. And I highly recommend that you reverse into positions where possible, because you can still make use of that 5 degrees of gun depression and it allows you to escape quickly. I'm very, very confident in when I know when I'm going to get spotted, when I'm going to fire. So there, immediately when I fire, there was a very good chance I was going to get spotted, so I immediately drove forward and out of harm's way. And that's where Sixth Sense comes in handy. It lets you know, as soon as you're spotted, to get a move on, get your ass in gear and get out of harm's way, because we don't know what's hiding in the back there. And yeah, we managed to get some nice view range there on that Centurion Avery, taking him out. And you can play this thing like a little bit of a tank destroyer scout when you're in a position like here on Swamp, or some of the wide open maps like Redshire or Prokhorovka. You can get some very good spotting assistance for your team. You have good base view range, and when you improve it like we have done with my setup, you can outspot pretty much everything you're going to come across, apart from very sneaky light tanks and tank destroyers and people that know how to use the bush mechanics in the game. Just touching on the bush mechanics, to be able to utilize them fully, to be able to spot, you just go into it until the bush is transparent, and when you want to fire, you pull back behind the bush about 5 to 10 meters and wait till it's opaque. Then you fire through it and you'll have all of that bush's concealment. The best thing on console is to double bush, so use 2 bushes in front of you when you fire, and that will get the most out of your concealment of your tank. On PC it works slightly better in my opinion, just to let you know how to try and utilize that on console and how to make the most of the Taran. So when you get to grips with this tank, you do get a feel of how to play it, where you can go without getting spotted, and you can play very aggressively, do some very sneaky things. We're right in the centre of swamp now in F6, and we're firing at a Conqueror that just won't have the ability to spot us, and I'm just very confident sat in the middle here, and if I get spotted, you have the mobility to get out of harm's way. Just keep an eye on where the dangerous tanks are being spotted on the map. Try and use your rings on your map, which is why I use the square map. You can see the dotted line is my concealment circle, and the cone there around the outside is my view range. And as long as you're firing at tanks that are on that dotted line or slightly beyond it, you're almost guaranteed to not be spotted unless they have good view range. And you can still try and fire at things in between that if you're using the bush mechanics, and if people don't have a good setup, you'll still be able to spot them and you'll be able to take them out. So we flanked through the middle here on swamp. We're coming round, we've done 4.6k direct damage, there's 2 tank destroyers left, but we've got 4.5k assistance, and a game like this would be fantastic for boosting our marks. We shoot on the move there, and that just goes to show you that even though you still don't have the absolute best tier 10 tank destroyer accuracy, it's more than good enough, especially for this high caliber gun. And just lastly, to touch on the penetration of this vehicle, which I don't think I've mentioned as yet in this game, as we ram and also shoot the cupola off the Stritzval 103B. You have 303 standard pen with AP rounds, you have 395 heat pen on your premium rounds and 90 HE, so fantastic penetration. Heat rounds are absolutely devastating. Only thing to watch out is the shell velocities are relatively slow, 960 meters a second on your AP and 760 on your HE and your heat, so adjust your lead accordingly, give more than you would with APCR rounds. But that's it for that video there. I hope you've enjoyed watching today's video on the Taran. Thank you for your patience whilst I have been away from the game, and yeah, until the next video and until next time, I'll see you on the battlefield, and bye for now.